How is it going, boys and girls? Data here, and welcome back to the Minnesota Wild franchise mode, episode 18, ready to start up the 2024-2025 regular season. In the last one, it was a fantastic offseason as we had a great draft. I guess I'll go to proposed trade, which is a place that we could see some of the drafted prospects. We had a fantastic draft, making a couple of first-round selections, including Sven Sjogren, and then another first-round pick. If we go and look at our goalies of Sergei Kozevnikov, our future starting goalie, as well as other depth selections such as Bryce Montgomery, Timu Pillman. We picked up Skylar Ellington in free agency. We got Cade Deming with 5-star shooting in the third round. So it was a really solid draft, which contributed to the fantastic offseason that we had when it came to free agency as well, as we went into some bottom six retooling, picking up some veterans such as a 1-year contract for Blake Wheeler. We picked up a 1-year contract for Phil the Thrill Kessel to play on the fourth line with Parise, who's now 40 years old, so Kessel 36. We also have Cody Ceci up here now as our depth defenseman. And we also went out and got Connor Hellebuyck. So we'll touch on a few of those moves in just a moment. I just want to quickly say before we get started here, as you're watching this, on February 19th is when it's uploaded. That's, I believe it's 11 days after episode 17 was uploaded. So I really apologize for that. If you go back to my roots here on the channel, 3-4 episodes of franchise mode a week was what I used to love always doing. Just a difficult time here in the semester, midterms, very busy with a lot of other commitments going on. Before last episode was recorded, we were around 1,980 subscribers. We crushed 2,000. Now we're close to 2,050 at my time of recording right now. So we had a fantastic live stream for the 2K special on Monday night. Montreal Canadiens Cup or Bust you could check out on the channel if you would like. It was a fantastic time, super fun, and really rewarding when you see moves that you make come to fruition. And thank you as well for all the nice comments that you would have seen rolling here at the beginning of the episode. Really means a lot to hear that you all are excited and enjoy the content that comes out here, because this isn't just you watching franchise mode, this is you helping to build a dynasty, and that is what we're doing here. So season number 5, let's get it going here in Minnesota. As I said, there were some changes at the beginning of in the offseason that will impact the beginning of this next season. Most notably Connor Hellebuyck. So I want to get into this a bit more. We thought that Ben Bishop, coming off a Vezina trophy, was going to be our starting goaltender. It turned out, though, that after tearing his hamstring and then over the offseason, he dropped down to an 81 overall. I'm sure he still simulates very well, but I wasn't totally ready to put my entire trust into an 81 overall 37-year-old with fringe starter potential. I would have started to drop backup role. So we decided to make a short-term splash. We have great goalie prospects in the system. A guy like Morozov with high starter potential. A guy like Kozevnikov with his elite potential. Those guys are going to be our NHL starter, backup, whatever they are, in a very short time. So Connor Hellebuyck, we signed him to a 2-year contract. He was coming off not great performances with the Winnipeg Jets, not great seasons, not great numbers, but we know that he simulates well. He has 90 poise. He has 5-star, 5-star, 4.5-star. So we gave him a 2-year contract, just worth $6.5 million. I would be extremely surprised if we signed Connor Hellebuyck beyond these 2 seasons. He's kind of just a bridge between the current and the future. We were hoping Bishop was going to be that bridge, but him dropping to 81 is not super helpful. So Hellebuyck will be starting, a Vezina caliber goaltender, backed up by the goalie who just won the Vezina. So fingers crossed, goaltending should, in theory, not be an issue this season. Speaking of goaltending, though, that was our biggest issue, our biggest question, I guess, last episode, because we have Juho Markkanen at 80 overall. We have Hunter Jones at 78 overall, who was our starter in the playoffs last season. And we also have our prospects, Maxim Morozov and Jesper Wallstedt, not to mention our unsigned prospect Sergei Kozevnikov at a 73 overall, who could be playing in Iowa if we wanted him to. So as always, we'll hop into the comments to find some answers. First one coming from Apo, leaving some very kind words as always, and then he goes on to say that after watching the video, I think it's time to trade Juho Markkanen. You have too many goalies, and Wallstedt and especially Morozov need to play now. You could always bring up Jones up into the main roster to be a third goalie in the NHL and give the AHL positions to Morozov and Wallstedt, but there's no place for Markkanen anymore. Concerning the coaching, which was also kind of a question, he says that I would definitely keep the current coaches. I think that they are your best options for coaches right now. Great video once again. Thank you, Apo. Very well said for both points. Literally reading my mind, to be honest. I'm not going to touch upon this too much because there's not really anything we're going to do this episode, but we were wondering what's up with the coaching. I'm not sold on Van Ryn as our head coach of the future. We really wanted to figure that out moving into the future of this franchise mode, as has been said in past comments. But unfortunately, he has a good team fit, he has good attributes, but he doesn't have great fits with our future pieces. Great fits with guys like Tarky and Pesci, for example, but guys who are here for the long haul, Kaprizov, Boldy, Tarky especially, those are the ones that concern me. Low fits for Kessel, Parise, no problem. So, well, again, unfortunately, I believe we'll have to reevaluate him again next season. But for now, having Van Ryn and Robichaud as our 1-2 punch here, I believe is the best course of action. Back to the goalies now. MVL1 2K7 says, have your best prospect be the backup in the preseason, see how he does, then return him to the minors, and your backup is Hunter. As for the coach, I think I see the first third of the season how the team gels and switch if he gets sour. So you know what? That's another good thing about the coaching is that Van Ryn and Robichaud are basically interchangeable. So if things weren't going well with Van Ryn, we could also always just bring Robichaud in. As well, in his comment, he had mentioned, could we try Kovanov, Shaw, and Wheeler on the third line to give the rookies a chance? That is a great idea in theory, and it is the future of this team. But Kopitar has a great third line fit, so I wouldn't want to put him down on the fourth line. We'll probably just keep it as is for this next season. Also, shout out to Anze Kopitar. We picked him up just as a rental, and he ended up wanting to sign back. He signed back cheap, had 15 points in 19 games, 7 points in 13 games in the playoffs. I'm excited to see what Kopitar does as our third-line center this season. So MVL1 raises a good point about we could give it a kind of trial basis. We could call up Markkanen and Jones and even Morozov, play them in the preseason and see how they do and then decide what's going to happen. But I think that would be more if I was trying, like really racking my brain. Oh, is it Markkanen? Is it Morozov? I think it's becoming kind of clear. Markkanen, he has medium starter potential, 4th round pick in 2020, 80 overall for 22 years of age. Fantastic, wonderful. But, man, it's just been a killer. He was great with Vegas's farm team. He was good last season in 22-23 in the AHL, 14-16-1. In the NHL, we played him a little bit for 5 games. He was just a train wreck, and he's just the odd man out, unfortunately. And that's exactly what Hef said over here on the Discord server. He said, I think it's safe to say Markkanen's time as a goalie in Minnesota is done. He's never put up inspiring numbers, and there's enough goalies down the pipeline that he is expendable. Try to package him and get something. We'll talk about that after because his trade value actually isn't much. And he'd like to see the stats for the undrafted free agent that we got picked up. He's actually a defenseman, not a forward, and he is playing in our lineup. He is a defensive defenseman, so pairing him with Hollowell gives it the +5. He's 72 overall, 19 years of age, low elite potential. We have him signed up as an unsigned prospect from free agency, so hopefully good growth from him. He could be another kind of Cale Addison, but we'll maximize chemistry and we'll do what we can. A lot of other great comments throughout this one. Sully making some good Zach Hyman jokes over in the Discord server. There was a comment as well concerning, where is he? Phil Kessel down here from Aiden. He says, what I had said when we signed Phil Kessel was, who can say no to that face? And he says, you know what? Actually, I can say no to him because he said no to the Penguins, saying that he didn't want to get traded to Minnesota. So originally it was supposed to be Kessel getting traded to the Wild. Back when he was with the Penguins in the deal that would have had him and Jack Johnson go to Minnesota for Victor Rask and Jason Zucker, He nixed that trade and ended up going to the Coyotes in the Galchenyuk deal. But you know what? He came over, he changed his mind in free agency. He saw how good Minnesota's been. He saw what kind of role we were offering him in depth. Doesn't have to skate too much, can just enjoy the time on the bench, but come out, you know, when it's time for the power play, can just come out and rip them from the point. So Phil Kessel, hey, he found his way to Minnesota in the end. Only took till 2024, but he's here. Last comment before we get into the simulation, Motion Vid Steckler says, it's obvious that we have too many guys between the pipes, and we have to keep Jones, Morozov, and Kozevnikov, or Hev, for a heavenly goalkeeper. I like that for the future. Jones proved himself in the playoffs and is a wild draft selection. Same for Morozov as a draft selection, and Kozevnikov. They are studs and wild draft picks. Markkanen, yes, does have a better overall than Jones, but hasn't really panned out, isn't a player from the Wild, came from elsewhere, and should go elsewhere. I think you should move Markkanen and Wallstedt to the Eastern Conference, since it's less likely to bite you later, except in Game 7 of the final, of course. Goaltending seems weaker in the East. Jerry isn't with the Penguins. Boston has Elvis, but he's not great. Price is falling out of his prime. So you know what? So checking to find a team that needs a goalie prospect is probably the best course of action. We have a good group for the future, and Wallstedt and Markkanen fell behind, and now they need to go. For coaching, keep what you have. There isn't anyone better. As we've been saying, Phil worries me on the fourth line, but it could work. Good luck with this season. Thank you very much. Great comment. And it's a very true point about Markkanen, about trading him to the Eastern Conference, being cognizant of that. So we'll look for the right trading partner. When it comes to Wallstedt, I believe his days in Minnesota are numbered. It's just not quite yet. I'd rather play Wallstedt as a backup to Morozov this season, and then next year Morozov can be the NHL backup, and then Kozevnikov can get signed and become the Iowa starter, rather than play Kozevnikov this season as the Iowa backup and burn a year of his entry-level contract since he is a prospect from Russia. So that's pretty much it to start the episode through the comments. Now we can look into the trades and all that good stuff. I'm really going to try to keep this episode kind of on the shorter end, as in recent episodes I've been going over an hour consistently, and this is just part one of the regular season, so I'm going to try to keep this around 45 minutes or so. Maybe, you know, go ahead and laugh in the comments if this is an hour and 10-minute video, but as of when I'm sitting here in this chair right now, my hope is for 45 minutes. So I've already done all the pre-scouting on Markkanen, and unfortunately, goalies in franchise mode here in NHL 21 do not have trade value. Like, look at Hellebuck's value compared to Markkanen, and there's barely any difference, even compared to Wallstedt. So Markkanen, we're not going to get a lot for him, probably like a 4th-round pick. It's really garbage, but I've already looked at different prospects who we might be able to get, an offensive defenseman prospect or something. There is literally no one besides a low top 9 prospect type of thing, and I'd rather just get a draft pick who I can draft someone better than that down the road. So I'm just going to find an Eastern Conference team that needs a goalie prospect, and we'll make it happen. And the winners are the Boston Bruins. We traded Elvis to the Bruins, but they have, you know, Antti Raanta as a backup, not bad, but then they have nobody else in the system. 61 overall, 19-year-old with fringe starter potential, and they do want Markkanen, so beautiful. Another goalie from Minnesota goes to the Boston Bruins. They don't really have any picks this season, so if we get a 3rd in 2026, that would be amazing, but that's not going to happen. No, 3rd's not going to happen. Even with the 5th, they don't want to do it, so I'm not going to waste my time. Could I get a 4th and a 5th for Juho Markkanen? Still, they don't want to do that. See, that's how crazy this is. This guy should have more value than that, yet he's being disrespected. So I'm just going to keep trying different permutations until it works. 5th and a 7th, a bit low for us with a 5th and a 7th. And they're a bad team, so how about I'll give you my 7th next season, and you give me your 7th next season. So basically, it's a 7th round pick swap, and I get a 5th next year for Markkanen, which is a literal just, I don't even know what to say. Like, a gift isn't even the word. It's just, I'm speechless. Just a pure robbery. So, Juho Markkanen, I wish you all the best. There's no room for you here in the franchise. We got to get rid of you. Off to the Boston Bruins for a 5th and a 7th with a 7th as well. So, good luck, Boston. You are the very lucky recipients of that deal. Let's just fix up the whatevers we have to do here. So Morozov goes back to being the starter. Wallstedt is backing him up. Wonderful. These are the lines here in the AHL. Good chemistry. I'm liking them very much. Rodin with the +3. Comtois, Kaut, Tracy. Did what we could to maximize chem, to really go after Rodin as well. And here are the lines, ready to go for year number 5. First line, Kaprizov, Rossi, Greenway. We're loving it. +3. Great stuff from everybody. Kaprizov coming off a bit of a down down year in terms of goals. A couple of years. Well, it's still, you know, if 40 goals is a down year, then I'm perfectly happy with that. But he did get 56 in his sophomore season, so hopefully with an 87 overall Marco Rossi, who has 96 passing, he'll be able to improve on that on last season. Jordan Greenway at an 85. Second line, Fiala at an 86, finally getting the top 6 minutes that he has been wanting on this team. He's put up great numbers as a third liner. Now he's getting to shine as a second liner. Brad Lambert being given a lot of responsibility this year, going to be his sophomore season, had 27 points in his rookie season last season. And Matthew Boldy at an 87 overall, put up 61 points last year, and now he'll get a chance to really thrive on for his third season. Third line down here, Alex Kovanov making his NHL debut at the age of 24, 81 overall, third round pick in 2018. Very happy to see him here. 4.5-star puck skills, great playmaker of the future. Kopitar at center and Blake Wheeler on the wing. Still has great attributes, 86 offensive awareness, 4-star shooting. Love it. Fourth line, Phil Kessel. Mason Shaw also making his NHL debut, 25 years of age, 4th round pick in 2017. And 81 overall, 40-year-old Zach Parise. He got his Stanley Cup back in year number 1, but he's here in year number 5 for one last dance, and so is Captain Ryan Suter on the top defensive pair. Torrey Krug with him getting the +5. There was a comment from Legend here, a big comment talking about trying Botter on the top pair, and you know, it gives it the +3, and that's definitely the future, but I want to try and get that +5 going while we still can, especially with Torrey Krug going to be playing like a 95 coming off winning the James Norris Trophy last season. Sergachev, Botter, probably the best second pair in the league overall wise, and Tarky and Pesci, love that, 82-83. Mika Tarky making his NHL debut, our 8th overall selection in 2022. He spent the last couple seasons in Iowa doing great things. Brett Pesci, we got him last year, close to the deadline, ended up re-signing him. Not sure how long he'll stay, but he fits all the pairs, costing a lot of money, but we will keep him for now. Goaltending, like we said, Hellebuck, backed up by Bishop. CC is the depth at defense, Bitten's the depth at forward, and Hunter Jones will be our third goalie here, ready to step in if and when needed. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're ready to kick off year number 5 here in Minnesota. We'll take things as they go. The scouts have been sent out. There's no need to really try out our rookie goalies or try out anything in the preseason because we don't really have any questions. There's no one that we're trying to say, could they make it, could they not? I think we have everything sorted out. And coming to the end of the preseason here, we went 5-1-0, 1-0, 4-1, 5-1, 3-2, 3-2 loss, and then a 7-4 win. 5-1-0, you love to see it. Not always a great indication of anything really, but just cool to see, like, hey, we're not absolute garbage. So Kirill Kaprizov, 9 points. Marco Rossi, 1 goal, 8 assists. Zach Parise, look at this man, 5 assists on the 4th line. Absolutely love to see that. Love how he simulates consistently. Only guys who didn't get any points were Botter or Kovanov, but a +8 for Leon Botter. And Connor Hellebuck killing it. Bishop didn't do much and didn't do well when he was called upon. But hey, he won the Vezina Trophy, and he just tore his hamstring, the poor guy. Give him a break. So we're ready to kick off the season at American Airlines Center against the Dallas Stars, who went 1-4-1 in the preseason. Let's just do it without further ado. Nothing left to say. Boys, I know you want it. Go show me that you are still stinging from that playoff exit last season. And let's run it back. And it all starts right here. First period, game 1 of 82, 1-1. Matthew Boldy opens up the season on Jack Campbell. Jamie Benn on the power play past Connor Hellebuck. Second period, 3-3. Rickard Rakell scores for the Stars, then Kaprizov, then Greenway, then Sjöland ties it up with 8 seconds left. Shots 27-17 for the Wild, but it's a 3-3 game, then Sjöland's second of the night. Man, 4-3 as he scores with a few seconds, and then Giovanni Smith. Oh my goodness. I always think of Jamel Smith because of 2BC's franchise mode. Oh, from 3-2 to up 3-2 to down 5-3. That's a tough way to lose the opener, especially Connor Hellebuck's debut. A lot of debuts tonight, and Mikheyev adds the empty netter. Oh man, so that was a tough one. 2 goals for Sjöland, goal and assist for Mikheyev, and a goal and assist for Jamie Benn. Let's submit to our first home game actually, and against the Coyotes no less, our rivals in this franchise mode because of their head coach. Winnipeg Jets. We beat them 7-4 in the preseason, and then against his old team, Hellebuck and Blake Wheeler. So we didn't even make note of that. Wheeler and Hellebuck both left Winnipeg to come to Minnesota in free agency, and we get shamed 6-1. Not the way you want to start the season, but it's all right. 0-2-0. Let's turn it around here for the home debut, the home opener against the Arizona Coyotes. We got to beat Popovich. We got to let him know what he's missing here. First period, 0-0. Second period, 3-1. There we go. Kevin Fiala, Matthew Boldy, and Kirill Kaprizov passed Cam Talbot as well, no less, former Minnesota Wild goaltender. Christian Dvorak scoring the lone goal for the Coyotes. Shots 25-16 in our favor, 3-1, up by 2. Blake Wheeler makes it a 3-goal lead. Then Torrey Krug, playing like a 95 overall, makes it a 4-goal lead. How do you like that, eh, Popovich? Man, 5-1 halfway through the third period, and this will be our first win of the 2024-25 season. Joseph makes it 5-2, but that's not going to be enough as the Minnesota Wild take it 5-2. The final goal and assist from Boldy and Kaprizov. I know it's Kaprizov, but I've said it too many times, and it will now be Kaprizov forever. So let's simulate the first 10 games of the season or so and see how we're looking. Actually, you know what? We'll go see Edmonton. We'll go see the Edmonton Oilers, the team that eliminated us in the playoffs. We have a little unfinished business. 5-2 loss against the Colorado Avalanche, a very high-scoring team, understandable. Before I look at this, the Rangers are currently 0-5-0. If we don't beat them, we got to start thinking about what's going on. Couch is injured down in Iowa, so we'll just quickly replace him. Here we go. Come on, New York Rangers. 3-2 win. Thank goodness. The Canucks are 0-3-0. We should beat them as well, hopefully. Central Scouting, yes. 7-3 loss. We're 2-4-0. Not terrible, but that's a bit scary, I have to be honest. I want to see how the first defensive pair is doing, because if Ryan Suter can't keep up, that's okay. -7. That's okay, Ryan. Just, you got to tell me. You got to be honest with me. If you can't do it, come to my office and tell me. Anybody else struggling down here? Botter, -7. Sergachev. Okay, let's swap a few things up here. It's not the end of the world, but let's think about just some changes. Even between the pipes, maybe. Let's give Bishop this game against the Oilers, most likely. Hellebuck at the moment, 867 save percentage. Bishop not playing great either, but let's give him the start and see what happens instead of him coming in relief when the team's already getting pounded. Lambert, -4. Kopitar, -3. It's going to be a tough season for Lambert. I know I'm asking him to play above where he's comfortable. Listed as a 4th line forward. Last year he was a 3rd line. I know that's tough. So Suter's going to be out. Let's try Botter on the second pair. Let's try switching that up. Tarky and Pesce have actually been all right, so no need to touch them. Parise, I'm thinking about switching Parise and Kovanov, maybe. Kovanov, -4, but, you know, no need for big changes just yet. Just a little tweak like that. Bishop's going to start this game. We're switching the defensive pairs. Now Krug can play like a 93 instead, but Botter can play like an 86. So there you go. At home against the Edmonton Oilers, we have unfinished business from last year, being knocked out in the playoffs. It was a heartbreaker. McDavid just went off. Let's redeem ourselves. First period, 1-0. Matthew Boldy, his 8th goal of the season, past former Wild goaltender Capo Kakinen. Second period, 2-2. Dominic Cahoon ties it up. Blake Wheeler gives us the lead on the power play, and then Luke Kunin, again another former Minnesota Wild player, ties it up. Shots 30-19 in our favor, but a 2-2 game headed into the third period. 5-on-3 power play for the Oilers. 5-on-4 extended. My goodness, we somehow kill it off. Power play for us killed off. Power play again now. Blake Wheeler's goal came on the power play, but nothing since. As this game is still tied at 2 going late into the third. We're getting close to 40 shots. Will we see overtime action? Yes, we will. Shots 39-29 in our favor. We don't get to go in usually in the regular season, but you know, with something to prove against the Oilers, let's see a little in-game action. Here in Minnesota, it's Draisaitl and McDavid up against Rossi and Kaprizov. It's going to be tough. We don't only want to get this win, and Krug against Nurse as well, for the aspect of beating the Oilers, but also to get back in the win column. Let's go! Ooh, huge chance for Krug there. Sorry, that was for Kaprizov. as Rossi set him up. Here comes McDavid back the other way now. Connor McDavid, ooh, just gets stood up by Kaprizov, kinda, in the best EA AI fashion. Kaprizov geeks nobody, classic, and then gets sent to the underworld. That's because his spine bends in like 3 different places in time. McDavid broken up by Krug. Now here's Brad Lambert, sprung on a breakaway. Brad Lambert, the rookie! Oh, not even a rookie technically, but just the young Brad Lambert. Matthew Boldy, stopped by Kakkonen. Oh my goodness, breakaway for Yamamoto out of nowhere, but a nice glove save from Ben Bishop. That was out of nowhere. That was a really weird breakdown from the AI, but a nice save from the 6'7" wall himself. Kopitar gets through. Mikhail Sergachev tries to go 5-hole, but Kakkonen hangs on. Sergachev crushed, then gets off the ice as soon as he gets crushed. Sounds good. Nurse coming in. No one wants to stop him. At least Ben Bishop does, as he pokes it away afterwards. So with 20 seconds left, there really hasn't been much action at all. So, hold on. Here comes Nazim the Dream. He gives it in the slot. Nice save from Bishop on Yamamoto. 10 seconds to go. Still tied at 2. We're likely to see the shootout, as there have been a lot of neutral zone breakdowns and usual AI shenanigans. And that will just about end overtime as Lambert, okay, great shot. And we're headed to a shootout after a pretty uneventful overtime that saw a nice breakaway save from Bishop on Yamamoto, at the very least. Another save right there. Bishop was strong. Kakkonen, though, you got to respect him. 40 saves in the night, 40 to 30 of the saves between Kakkonen and Bishop. Shootout time now, which means a lot of cuts through the terrible transitions between shooters and really bad attempts, but let's run through this. Here comes Connor McDavid on Ben Bishop, and Bishop stands tall and proves why he won that Vezina trophy. Matthew Boldy, leading goal scorer on the team. He's coming up on Capo Kakkonen, and he makes the easy save. Now here comes Leon Draisaitl, coming in slowly, draws him out, but Bishop is there and standing square to the shot. Next up from Minnesota, it is Anze Kopitar coming in on Kakkonen. Really weird approach and an easy blocker save. Kailer Yamamoto coming in now on Ben Bishop, and he just had the opportunity on the short side. Oh goodness! As Bishop just got back, almost hit him with the classic forehand, backhand, forehand, but Yamamoto couldn't get it through. Now Kevin Fiala's going to come in on Kakkonen for the win. Almost squeezes through actually, but Kakkonen makes the save. Now here comes Shane Gostisbehere, the defenseman. Ooh, again, the classic backhand forehand, but a blocker save from Ben Bishop. Now for the win, it is Phil, the Thrill Kessel. Hot dogs are on me, Phil. Oh, if you got it, but a sprawling pad save from Kakkonen keeps him out. Dominic Cahoon now for the Oilers, their 5th shooter. Oh, wow, again. Getting Bishop on the backhand, but he comes back just in time with the pad. Is that short side or far side? I keep making mistakes. But Kaprizov now, can he get the win with the A on his sweater? Oh, forgot to mention as well, we made that official last episode. The A on his sweater. Next season, when most likely Suter and Parise retire, we'll need a new leadership core. Evan Bouchard, his family's waiting for him with the minivan, and he just has to call game. The man, he's a father of 4 already. They're waiting to go to soccer practice, and he just had to end the game. Bishop, a bad poke check attempt, as Bouchard takes advantage of that. Not over quite yet, though, as Torrey Krug still has a chance to extend it, but Kakkonen stands square. He makes, what, 6-7 saves, plus 40 in game. Man, you got to give it to him, as the Oilers beat us in the shootout. So a 3-2 shootout loss brings us to 2-4-1 on the season. Let's go to, like, I don't know, the 15-game mark. Let's get some simulation done now that we're getting closer to that 45-minute mark that I've been talking about. Maybe I've already hit it, who knows. But hey, we'll try and keep it as succinct as possible. He's good. Okay, great. LA Kings, 8-5 win. Wow, okay. 9-0 against Dallas. Sheesh, all right. 4-0 against the Panthers. Back-to-back shutouts there, as Kaut is back to being healthy. My goodness, Connor Hellebuyck showing up big time. 4-3 loss against Tampa, then a 4-2 loss against the Panthers. All right, we're back to 5-6-1. We got a home-and-home coming up against the Toronto Maple Leafs now, as it starts in Toronto with a 2-0 win, then back home in Minnesota. We get it's taking a long time, 3-2 victory. Beautiful. We win both of those home-and-homes, and now we are above 500 at a 7-6-1 record. through the first 15 games of the season. Sorry, what am I saying? This is the 15th game. Then we'll check the stats after 15 games. Couldn't do the quick maths there for a second. Against the Blues here, big divisional rivals. First period, 2-1 St. Louis. Torrey Krug opens up the scoring on David Rittich, but then Adam Ernie and Jordan Kyrou come right back. Second period, 2-1 it remains. Shots 25-17 for Minnesota, but David Rittich standing on his head. Let's go, boys. Power play for the Blues now. Kill that off. Power play of our own. 5-on-3. But no capitalization again. But there we go. Feel the thrill. Steps up in a big way. Ties this game up at 2 on the power play. 5 minutes to go now. Shots 35-24. Power play again. End it. Ooh. That's killed off by St. Louis. Headed to overtime. Shots 40-24 for Minnesota. Can we just close it out in overtime? We're headed to the shootout where we win it. Drouin, Jonathan Drouin on the St. Louis Blues. Then Kopitar, and then Phil Kessel gets the game tying and then shootout winning goals. What a night from Phil Kessel. Oh, wow. Catering is going to be done by La Belle Province, and it's all on me. Connor Hellebuyck, second star of the game as well. And Kessel, very deservingly that third star. So we'll just simulate up to this game against Pittsburgh. 15 games completed now. We are 8-6-1 on the year and ready to check out the stats. So through 15 games, Matthew Boldy is a man on a mission with 14 goals. Kaprizov as well with 12. So between these two players, we have 26 goals. After Kaprizov, it goes to Wheeler at 5, Fiala 3, Krug 3. My goodness, those two men are animals. Marco Rossi over a point per game with a goal and 15 assists. Krug 13 and 15, trying to make his case for back-to-back James Norris trophies. Blake Wheeler, very nice, 11 points. Fiala 10 and 15. Greenway 9. Kovanov 8, nice. Phil Kessel with 5. Parise with 5. Lambert only with 5. Suter, Sergej. The plus-minuses are a lot nicer than before. Botter, there we go, -1 with 2 goals. Okay, I see you, Leon. I see you. And Mika Tarki, 1 assist and a -2. Goaltending, Hellebuyck 7-5-0, 3 shutouts, 894 save percentage though, and a 3.06 goals against average. Bishop in 4 games is 1-2-1, 895, 3.00. We love Ben Bishop. We love him. We love him. We love him. But if things were to go sideways, we always have the possibility of calling in Hunter Jones. AHL, how's it looking? Damien Giroux with 18. Okay. Rodin, 17 goals. Lovely stuff. As we will continue on simulating, as like we said, we want to get as close to the halfway mark before we got to close out this episode. Let's go see the Nashville Predators. A lot of old rivalries and bad blood between the Wild and the Predators. 6-4 win against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Islanders, a very good team. We get shut out 2-0 by Igor Shesterkin, I believe, is the goalie over there. Ottawa Senators have a great record, and it just doesn't get that much better though, because we beat them 4-2. We have a chance to redeem ourselves against Edmonton once again, and this time we beat them 2-1. You love to see it. 4-2 loss against the San Jose Sharks. Got a back-to-back Central Division matchup. Hip pointer. Zach Parise is out for a month. Yikes. So luckily we do have a good fourth line replacement in Will Bitton, who played all of last season. Two-way forward, gives it a 0. Okay. They're both right wingers, so I just got to replace him on the power play, and Sergachev can certainly do that. We just also have to replace him on the shootout lineup. Actually, no, Parise's not even there. Beautiful. Okay, so Parise's out for a month. That's not great. We do have a good fill-in, like we said, in Will Bitton, but we'd prefer to have him. 3-0 loss, 4-3 shootout loss. And then the Devils, we beat them 4-1. So coming up to this game against the Predators, we are 12-9-2. Not fantastic. Could be better. Predators are 10-13-2. Former Stanley Cup champions. Are they the reigning Stanley Cup champions? Yes, they are, aren't they? With Tristan Jarry there. So they have Tristan Jarry from us. We have Brad Lambert from them. They also have someone else from us. The guy who did we trade in the Brad Lambert deal? It was totally blanking, but I'll look after. I can't believe I'm forgetting this. First period, 1-0 Roman Josi. Second period, Evander Kane and then Foligno, their first overall selection. We're down 3-0 headed into the third period. 3 goals on 14 shots against Hellebuyck, not playing up to what we thought he was going to be. And 20 saves on 20 shots for whoever's in nets for the Predators. 4-0 Matt Duchene. 4 goals on 15 shots. Fantastic. That is really disgusting stuff. Come on. Of course, what I said at the beginning of the episode about goaltending is not going to hold true, right? We thought that was finally not going to be an issue. If we have any issues, it'll be something else. As Matthew Boldy scores on power play, then Kovanov, okay, we're back within 2. It's very late, but we're back within 2. And it will not be enough as we drop it 4-2. Boldy on the power play, then Kovanov past Yaroslav Askarov, who is now, I'm guessing, their starter. Maybe he's their backup, but he's at least part of the tandem. One of the created players here in the franchise mode. 4-2 loss. Really not good. Really not good. If we could win this game against Pittsburgh, it would calm me down a little bit. They have a losing record, but we can't lose again to another team with a losing record after just losing to Nashville. Pittsburgh 2-1 shootout win. Yikes. Really tight. 13-10-2 is the record. 20 goals in 25 games for Matthew Boldy. My goodness. I hope you have him in your fantasy lineups. Just taking another look at the goaltending here. Hellebuck. It's not bad. Ben Bishop not looking really that great, but maybe just give Bishop a few nights off. I don't even know if he'll get called into action, Hunter Jones, but let's just give Bishop a few nights off. Brad Lambert, -2, Kopitar +2, that's good. Wow, the fourth line, yikes. But only since Bitten came, it hasn't been terrible. Ugh, not a good fourth line. Not sold in that fourth line. Can we switch out, maybe put Kessel on the top line? Let's try Kessel on the third line. Let's just try that. I don't know, just to switch something up in the bottom 6. And plus minuses on the first line aren't great, but we can't really change much. We could put Fiala. You know what? Let's try Fiala top line, Greenway +3 on the second line to try and help out Brad Lambert as well. I prefer to just do things and not talk you through my entire thought process, but there you go. So let's simulate a few games with that, with Hunter Jones as the backup and all that good stuff. Let's go to, let's go see the next game against Nashville. That'll give us 4 games of a little trial with Greenway Fiala swap. 5-2 win against Carolina. Okay. 7-2 win. Okay. Axel Anderson fractured jaw. Hate to see it. Back to it here. Actually, we need to, 5-4 loss. We need to actually pause. We have no depth for defense in the AHL. So we'll get Kevin Ball signed if he wants to come join Iowa. Columbus Blue Jackets, they have a good record. Yeah, they beat us 6-3. Kevin Ball's on board. And now we're taking on Nashville once again. Okay, looking at Hunter Jones here, by the way, just taking a quick glance. He's faced 11 shots and let in 4 goals. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take him out. I know those are not really representative of who he is, but you know what, Ben Bishop, you can come back. And then down in the AHL, we'll just slot Ball in here instead of Novak, who's actually a forward. And there you go. Hey, yeah, +1. Love to see it. Minnesota Wild and Nashville Predators here. Our record is, oh, wow, Iowa, 21-2-1. Okay. 15-12-2 are we. 14-15-2 are the Predators. Come on, let's stick it to them after that loss. We got to get it right here. First period, nothing. Second period, okay. Matthew Boldy on the power play and Ryan Suter against his old team at the age of 40. 2-0 for the Wild, headed into the third. Power play Nashville, killed off. There we go. Okay, finally some good goaltending. Ben Bishop, by the way, is in nets tonight, who's back from his little hiatus. We gave him a few nights off in the press box. Just relax. Niels Hoglander scores on the power play to bring the Predators within 1. It's a slim lead with just a couple minutes left to go. Is it enough? And yes, it is. Shots were 31-27, and we pull it off 2-1 the final. Great nights from Bishop and Askarov. Ryan Suter, the game-winning goal. He still has the magic in that stick. So it's a bit concerning that these are really tight wins, and all the scoring is coming from like Boldy and Kaprizov, but let's keep on going here, and we'll go see the Chicago Blackhawks. We're at 27-3. That should be a good one. Vancouver Canucks here. Couple games, 5-1 win. All right. Then the Predators 4-2 loss. All right. Win-loss. Just got to get a little streak going. 4-2 win. There we go. Let's go. Let's rev up those engines. Axel Anderson's back. You're killing my vibe, Axel. All right. Axel Anderson's back. And let's go. Rev up those Friars. Let's go. Arizona, 4-1 win. Let's go. Just like the... Oh, Zach Parise fully healed. Okay, I was about to say, just like the snowblower the other day with the amount of snowblowing that I've had to do the last week. Will Bitten, 14 games, 2 goals, a +2. Can't complain. Kessel's a -6, but he's scoring more. Kaufman a +1. You know what? I'm going to keep it like that. but just replace Bitten with Parise. Actually, never mind. That makes the the fourth line a -3 because they're all playmakers. That makes a lot of sense. So Kovanov, congrats, you're back to the third line. And over on the power play here, how did Sergachev do on the power play? He scored 2 power play points. Not bad at all, but we do want to try and get Parise to score because, well, to just have more ice time, especially in a man advantage situation, because he simulates so well. Let's go. Rev up that snowblower. 4-2 win. Let's go. Don't stop. 3-2 loss. Let's go. I've got to put some gas in the engine here. San Jose Sharks, 5-1 win. All right, now pull that cord. Let's go. They're 24-8-4. We're 21-14-2. Giant mountain of snow out in the driveway. Let's get it done before lunch. Here we go. It's going to be a tough divisional matchup. First period, 1-0 Blackhawks, Joey Anderson. Second period, 3-0. Great. Atu Ratti on the power play. Matthias Janmark. Even strength, and we're down 3-0. Shots are 15-14 for us, but we're down 3-0. Great. Power. Hey, awesome. Hey, Evgeny Malkin's here. Cool. The simulation god himself. Connor Hellebuck, man, you're killing me. You are killing me. That's going to be a huge question for next episode. Brett Pesce brings us within 3 with 10 minutes to go. It's not over yet, but it just about is. DualShock battery is low. I understand why, and it's because we're taking a huge L. 5-1 the final. I'm not sure if that shows up on your screen, but it did on mine. Battery low for the controller, and I understand because it looks like all of Minnesota's batteries are low here. It's just we can't get a streak going. It's like win, loss, win, win, loss, win, win, loss, 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 win, win. It's no trend really. 21-15-2 is the record heading in now, entering the calendar year of 2025. What I want to do is check out just the special teams here as well. In the entire NHL, we're 10th. Not bad at all. Power play is 25%, which is, what, like 5th best in the league. That's great. Penalty kill, 79.3, which is close to the bottom. Aside from that, not so sure. By the way, I said I was going to go check who that player was that we traded to Nashville in the Brad Lambert deal. I can't believe I forgot. It's Ryan Murray, of course. It was Ryan Murray. As well as Ryan O'Rourke, yeah, Cale Addison, yeah, that whole package, yep. And we also got a first-round pick. We gave them a first. We got a first back with Grimaldi and Perreault and all that stuff. And hey, the Predators are currently 18-21-2, so that first-round pick could be very, very interesting. Just keep note of that. So I'll try to fix the penalty kill. You just gotta trust the process here. Just gotta trust the process. This is a good team. There's nothing really to touch, I don't think. Just gotta see what we can do with the penalty kill. 0 and +1. So maybe Kopitar with the X is the odd man out. I'm not really comfortable putting really anybody else in there. Kovanov also gives it a +1, but you know, why would I put someone who has 73 shot blocking and 76 stick checking but has a check mark over someone who's 81-85 with 90 face-offs? But has an X, right? So I can't see myself taking out Kopitar. The man's a face-off monster. There's no reason to take out Kopitar. If anything, maybe it's the defense. I guess Ryan Suter could come out and Mikhail Sergachev could go in. I think, that hurts. It takes away the +1, but it does give us an 88 overall defenseman instead of an 80 overall defenseman. So let's do that. Let's just do that and see if it helps at all. Let's keep on simulating as we're getting close to the end of this one, as we'll stop around in the first week of February. So let's go see the Winnipeg Jets for the second time right before the All-Star break, as we have one game coming up against them next week. But we'll simulate a little bit first. Vancouver Canucks, okay, we beat them 6-3, wonderful. New Jersey Devils, they shut us out last time we played, right? This time we beat them 6-3. No, that was the Islanders I was thinking of. But anyways, 6-3 win, we'll take it. Back-to-back 6-3 wins. 4-1 win against the Jets, wonderful. St. Louis Blues, they beat us 5-2, understandable, happens. Well, at least we've won 3 in a row before that. 6-1 win against the Hawks, that's a huge win. Head coach just got fired, someone's head coach. 1-0 loss against Tampa, that's brutal. Someone's head coach just got fired. So as always, we just want to check out what their coaching fit is. Moises Kwong, 62% team fit. No, I'm not going to bother hiring him. Vegas Golden Knights, they have a winning record. We beat them 3-2. Injured shoulder for Norlander down in Iowa. Is that up? There we go. 3-2 win, like we said. Anaheim Ducks, we beat them 3-2 in the shootout. Then one more game before we stop here in Colorado. We get shut out 2-0. So the little streaks have been there. A few losses sprinkled in. But you know what? Since we did that last little stretch, it's been more W's than L's by a lot. So 27-18-2 is the record, up against the 25-22-1 Winnipeg Jets. Blake Wheeler and Connor Hellebuck up against their old team. Let's do it. First period, 3-0. Wonderful. Let's go. These slow sims have been terrible recently. Matthew Boldy, Brad Lambert, and Torrey Krug on the power play past D'Elia. Second period, 4-0. Matthew Boldy on now Montembeault. So Montembeault and D'Elia, the tandem in Winnipeg. Not great, but somehow they have a winning record. 4-0 for the Wild. 5-on-3 power play Winnipeg late. Hey, there's some penalty kill numbers. We kill all those off. 4-0 with just a few minutes left to go, and we'll call it there. 4-0 shutout victory. Hellebuck made 23 saves. Boldy with 2 goals. Lambert a goal and 2 assists. We will take it. That is win number 20. Was it 28? 28 on the season as we're headed into the All-Star break here. Let's go see the game against the Montreal Canadiens. We'll move into the first week of February, and then we'll call it an episode. I know we'll be over 45 minutes in the end, but you know what? I'm proud of myself for not going to an hour 15 or anything. Simming through the All-Star break now. Things are looking good for us. I believe, yeah, we're third in the division at this moment. 6-5 win in the shootout against the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's a very, very strong Central Division, which is a big issue for us, but as long as we can stay at the top. So a game right now in Montreal contre le Canadien de Montréal. Let's do it. The team that we just did our huge 4-hour live stream with a few nights ago. First period, 1-1, Kaprizov and Josh Brook. Second period, 3-2 Minnesota. Mika Tarki, is that his first goal? Maybe. Mika Tarki scores on Carey Price. Cole Caulfield in the power play past Hellebuck. Oh, I didn't even notice. Then Tarki scores again. Definitely has to be the first multi-goal game of his career, as it's now 3-2 Minnesota headed into the third period. Power play, then just as it ends, Brad Lambert scores to extend the lead to 2. 4-2 Minnesota. Shots are pretty even, but up by 2. Hardest lead in hockey, but hey, make it a 3-goal lead and we'll be that much happier. Thank you, Kevin Fiala, on the power play. As we are up by 3 with under 5 to go, we'll call it. 5-3 the final as Ryan Poehling scores 1 late, but that's all right. Kevin Fiala had a goal and 3 assists. Mika Tarki scoring twice. And that is good enough for win number 30 on the season for the Minnesota Wild. Let me see Mika Tarki here. Let's check it out. 3 goals. All right, so not his first goal of his career. He has 10 points, 3 goals, but still the first multi-goal game of his career for sure. So we'll go and see one more game before pausing. Let's go see the Calgary Flames. We have a big history with Calgary with the Monahan and Lindholm trades and everything. Philadelphia Flyers, we are at home. We beat them 6-5 in a barn burner there. Vegas Golden Knights, we've had a good record against them this season, but they beat us 5-2. And now for the last game of part 1 of the regular season here against Calgary, who are 19-30-4. First period, 0-0. Joel Eriksson X going to score for sure. Second period, 3-1. Martinic scores, and then Kovanov, Krug, and Boldy. Krug on the power play, killing it this year. 3-1 Minnesota, headed to the third, 2-goal lead. As Calgary, yeah, I don't think they have Zuccarello anymore, but they definitely still have Eriksson Ek as the player that we sent in that Monahan deal. A bunch of power plays killed off by Calgary. We're still holding on to the 2-goal lead now as the shots are 35-20. They've killed off a lot of the power plays, but they haven't been able to capitalize themselves, and we take it 3-1 the final, no scoring in the third. A goal and an assist from Boldy, 21 saves from Hellebuck, and 1 goal from Torrey Krug. And after that loss, the Flames fire their head coach, Clayton Eminger. They're now 19-31-4. And that loss was the straw that broke the camel's back. As Eminger is a forwards coach, A- overall, and has a 61% team fit. Probably not best for us. But anyway, so now at the halfway-ish mark, we're going to go ahead and take a pause here after 50. Yeah, actually, we're more than halfway through. At the 53-game mark, things are looking good. Kirill Kaprizov is giving us that season that I asked him for. 34 goals and 59 points. Matthew Boldy is just on another planet this year with 39 goals. Crushing his previous career high of 82 games, of 32 goals in 82 games. Doing so in now 53 games, he has 39. He's going to definitely break his points record as well. Wow. Torrey Krug, 45 and 53. Marco Rossi, 4 goals, but 39 assists, which isn't typical, right? Yeah, he had 22 goals last season, just becoming more of a playmaker. Kevin Fiala, 41 and 53. Wheeler, 38. Greenway slowing down, only 7 goals. That's really weird. He's not on pace to do what he did last season, which was 63. So that's a bit concerning. Even, he has a +3 on the second line. Brad Lambert, 30 points in 53 games for him. He has already broken his rookie record and will continue to do great things. Kopitar, 22 points in 53 games. Nothing special. Kessel, 18 points and a -3. Kovanov doing all right. Sergachev, a -4. Parise, 16 points. Shaw, 11. All the pretty much the same from everyone down here. All with between like 11 and 18 points. And between like a -5 and there's a +9 for Tarky at least. Pesci and Tarky, good +-. Leon Botter, +9, 6 points through 53 games. Connor Hellebuck, 28, 17, and 1 with 4 shutouts, 903 save percentage, 2.61 goals against. Ben Bishop, 4, and 1, 912 save percentage, 2.64 goals against average. So I think I'm comfortable with keeping these guys heading to the second half of the season, but they have given me the reason to be concerned at times. Very tough division as both the Avalanche and the Blackhawks are above us. If we scroll down here, we are the 9th best team in the NHL right now. Power play went down a little bit, but still very good at 23%. Still one of the best in the league. Penalty kill got better, up to 80.5%. Very nice. Still not as good as we'd want it, but we got into the 80%, and that is a lot better. So I suppose just heading into the second half, the main question is just, do you have any suggestions about the lineup especially? Should we look at maybe a better second line center? Kopitar's down to an 80 overall. So maybe Lambert goes back to third line center and we get a better second line center. Maybe if there's a rental out there. So we'll quickly scroll through all of the trade blocks, sorting by overall here. So I'm sure there's a lot of great prospects and stuff like that. But Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 83 overall, 3 years left. Not going to be able to do that. David Perron, expiring deal for Perron, but an 80 overall. We're not sure where he fits. We could scout him. Could send a scout to scout him. Maybe David Perron, perhaps. Yoki Haru is an RFA. Hasn't been signed. We wouldn't be able to scout him, though, unfortunately, since he's not playing. Rasmus Anderson fits deep pairing 3, but defense is pretty solid. I'm not really looking at defense. If you want to look specifically at a defenseman that you see here, just ask me in the Discord server, and I'll send you some pictures of his line fit or maybe look into scouting him. Evgeny Dadonov, 81 overall, fits the third line. 9 goals, 9 assists, -14, but 89 offensive awareness, has the puck skills, the senses, and the shooting. Evgeny Dadonov's interesting. Mikhail Grigorenko fits the first line. Sniper, more Dadonov I'm interested in. Edmonton Oilers prospects. Tyson Barrie. Again, I shouldn't be looking at defensemen, but that's an interesting name. Oliver Bjorkstrand, over on the Canadiens, 20 goals, 5-star puck skills, 4-star shooting. Doesn't fit any of the lines, though. 4 years left, forget it. Brendan Gallagher, 3 years left, fits the third line. Love Brendan Gallagher. A two-way forward who fits the third line and scores is very valuable. That's interesting, but it's a costly third liner at $6.5 million, so I don't know about it. Marcus Johansson fits the first line, 84 overall. Nick Bjugstad, former Minnesota Wild. Yeah, okay, just to make note of that. Josh Anderson, still an 80 overall, since they've done him so badly. Makes no sense. Ryan O'Rourke, over on the block for the Predators. Rangers, Senators, a lot of prospects. Connor Sheary here for the Flyers. Fits the penalty kill lines. Good playmaker. I thought he was more of a two-way, but playmaker. Eric Haula, he is a playmaking center. Fits the PK lines. Interesting to note. Silverberg, 81 overall, sniper. Fits all the penalty kills. 3 years left. What are you saying? Logan Couture, 3 years left. Not going to happen. Braden Chanel, just like the last couple seasons, look at all these guys on the trade block for the St. Louis Blues. That's interesting. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins fits the fourth line. Come on. Jonathan Drouin fits the first line. That would be a big splash. We're not really looking at making big splash kind of guys like that. Niederreiter, Adam Ernie. So pretty much everyone on the block in St. Louis. Bay, Toronto, JT Miller. Interesting. JT Miller fits the third line. Again, a great two-way third line guy, but very expensive and not doing super well. Sam Bennett, former Minnesota Wild, now up to an 85 overall, 4-star defense. Wonderful. On the block, though, and 2 years left on his deal. PK Subban's on the block. Chris Tierney fits the fourth line. Who's a guy who could fit the second line center spot? Vegas, Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore. We sent out a scout. Someone asked that we scout him. I believe it was Legend who asked that. He fits deep pairing 1, power play, and penalty kill, so he would be a great guy to have, but two-way defender. Braden McNabb fits deep pairing 2. Nick Ritchie fits the fourth line, and just to see Pietrangelo fits the top 4D. Washington, TJ Oshie. We'd have to scout him. One expiring deal for TJ Oshie. 3 points in 3 games that he's played. Listed as a depth forward. Maybe TJ Oshie's is a guy. Yoel Armia fits the first line. Winnipeg Jets. Jack Roslovic's here. Fits the fourth line. Brian Little fits the first line. Forsbacka Carlson. Not so. Really not too many options. So it'll probably be someone that we have to look at ourselves going out to get. And keep in mind that we don't have a ton of trade value to play around with. There are a lot of people who have trade value, but guys we actually want to move, not many. Really not many. Donaghy, I'd probably be down to move Donaghy, but not much aside from that. Draft pick situation is tight, but the Nashville first rounder is beautiful. Their record at the moment is 21, 28, and 5. Whoo, baby! And speaking of that, I'm gonna go send out the scouts after I wrap up this episode. But the draft class here, looking at the draft class, we have a medium elite Marcus Magnuson, playmaker, similar to Patrick Kane, NHL ready. Murray Ludman, Sean Monahan, NHL ready. Rene Gagne, Owen Nolan, Griffin Finnerty, Owen Nolan. So a lot of medium elite guaranteed here in the top 5. Similar to Victor Hedman in NHL ready as a defenseman. So, okay, I'll keep doing my scouting here, but the top guys are looking pretty decent. And hey, just to make note, the Iowa Wild are 36-8-4, so great thing is going on down in Iowa. Oh, and hey, by the way, if anyone's wondering about Skylar Ellington, he's an 80 overall from 72 to 80 overall after 48 games in the AHL. 19 points in 48 games, and just like that, we have another player in the system who we don't know what to do with. Add him to the list with Demetrius Correa of players who want to crack the NHL lineup. So Ellington, Correa, Suter's going to retire, which is good. Maybe Pesce will be the next man out to try and make room for Correa and Ellington on this bottom pair. Tarky can move up to the second pair. But hey, just to say, from 72 to 80 overall. Morozov as well, over at a 77. And we're looking at player growth in general. Teemu Pillman from a 55 to a 62. And Sven Sjogren from a 64 to a 74. All by February? Crazy, crazy stuff. So wonderful growth from the prospects in our system. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up there. The record's looking pretty nice. We turned things around, 32, 19, and 2. Just the main question, what do you think about the lines heading into to the second half of this season? Any changes that you would make? Any positions that I should do some checking in on? Some centermen, perhaps? That's probably the biggest thing, centermen. So either leave a comment here on YouTube or check out the Discord server and we can have some more discussion over there. Are you comfortable with the goaltending as well is another question to have. So, hey, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again, everyone, for crushing that 2,000 subscriber goal mark. Let's hit the next one. The road to 3K begins now. So if you are not already subscribed, we would absolutely love to have you. Franchise mode, live streams, all the links for everything you need to find are down in the description as well for the Discord server, the Twitch channel, live Monday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the Twitter page as well. The support means the world, and I'm so glad that you all are engaging in the comments and making this team yours. I hope that you are feeling attached and excited about year number 5 here in Minnesota. We want to get that Stanley Cup for the old boys like Kessel and Wheeler, but we also want one last ride with Parise and Suter. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and seeing you in the next one.